Hello, and welcome back again on Dynamics 365 Customer Service. I'm making this video after a very long time, almost 6 months, because it's been super busy for me last couple of months. So I took some pause away from making videos. I really did not have the time because I also have another job to work. But yes, I thought it might as well make sense to come back here again. I was so busy that I was not even able to read comments from all of you. My sincere apologies for that. But yes, I'm back again. This video
Yay!
is basically a request from one of you. So I thought let's start off with one of the requests before I start with making videos that I think could be valuable for you guys to learn on. And that's why this video is focused on SLA timer control. Normally, how a SLA timer control looks like is just a couple of records, which is super ugly, and we're going to change that. How it looks like now, I've already added an SLA timer control, and this is how it looks. It shows you what KPIs are we talking about. So as a customer service agent, what I see is on a case level, there are two KPIs I'm measuring. KPI one is if a case is created, I should be able to respond it in a certain amount of time, which if you look at the screen is within 53 minutes and 16 seconds, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. And the same goes for resolve by KPI. Here you have 7 hours, 53 minutes. And yeah, you don't see the seconds here because the duration is quite long. And this has to do with the fact that a case needs to be resolved in 8 hours, right? So this is what it means functionally, and this video is mostly on the UI side. It has not a lot to do with functionalities. So if you're looking on how to set up SLAs, there are different videos in my playlist. You could have a look on them. But let's start off with how to add SLA timer control on case forms. I'm going to do a quick refresh to restore it back to where it was because I already reverted back the changes. I'm working with customer service workspace. This should be the go-to app for you guys as well because this is the future. This is what Microsoft wants you to work on. And when I click on this case record, this is how a case looks like. It already shows me on the main form on the main section what is my first response and what is my resolve in. But normally when you create a case, you also have perhaps this SLA tab, and then underneath that you have the subgrid which shows you all the SLA KPI instances. So this is a bit more detailed on what you would see here. And yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to show the same information that looks not super visually intuitive to visually intuitive. So if I need to add the same control that I showed you previously, what we need to do is you just need to open that form you want to customize. So in this case, it is case for interactive experience. And then you basically go to the old way of working, so the classic view. And here you have SLA KPI instances. If you do not have SLA KPI instances added like this, then you need to add a subgrid. How you can do that is just create a new tab and then insert from here a subgrid and then include the SLA KPI records. So if you are not aware on how to do that, let's quickly also look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this existing one and we try to add the same thing all over again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert first a section, a one column section, and I'm going to say, okay, in the section, I'm going to quickly say, okay, this section is called SLA KPI instances, just like how that the other one is. I'm going to give it a label, SLA KPI instances. I'm going to say it one because I'm going to keep only one of them. And when you have the section, what you can do is include a subgrid. And when you include a subgrid, you also give it the same name. So I say SLA KPI instances one again. Here I say only related records, but here I select SLA KPI instances. So what it does is it shows me all the related SLA KPI instances. These are actual records. When you create a case, if there are any SLAs that basically belong to that case, so there are certain kinds of cases where you want your agents to know this is a super important case. This case should be resolved in a certain time. So that's why you can set that up through SLAs, and the SLA KPI instances are then records created on a case level and associated to the case to basically tell the user, Okay, there are n number of SLA KPI instances applicable to this case. In this case, we saw earlier there are two, so I need to respawn by this time, and it's not really a timer. It tells you a date and time. Again, not visually intuitive, and the same goes for resolve. So this basically means that the case resolution should happen by this time. So this should be by tomorrow, somewhere around 3 a.m. Okay, going back here, I'm going to say, okay, this is what I need to have. And then I say, okay, okay. So it should not have spaces in between. Okay. You see the same thing has appears here as well. But I'm going to keep the original one, so I'm going to delete this section. This is only for you to also learn how to add SLA KPI instance subgrid. But we already had it, so I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to customize this existing SLA KPI instances to add a timer control. And it's not at all complicated. It's super easy. What you need to do is just double click on the subgrid here and then click on controls. And when you click on add control, you can scroll all the way to the bottom where you'll find SLA timer, click add, and then make sure you select it for web, phone, and tablet, especially if you want to have it on all the three platforms. And then click OK, and then click on home, save. Once it's saved, then you need to publish it, and then we will have our SLA timer control ready. So all I need to do is just go back again to the same case form and do a refresh, and then we'll have a super new UI on SLA KPI instances. Okay, this is the case that I had. What I'm going to do is, let's see if does this refresh work. I doubt, but okay, then I'm going to do a control F5. So I press control and I press here because it means a hard refresh. It's just a good tip for you to know. So if your changes don't reflect immediately, just press control and press F5, and that should do the trick. I normally do it more than once because sometimes, yeah, it's not, it doesn't happen immediately. And then I go back again to my cases. When I go in cases, I open my case record where I have the SLA KPI instances, and this is it. And then I click on SLA, and you see it appears. If it means green, then it succeeded. It has it has different icons to it. Let me show you what these mean. So I'm going to say SLA KPI timer. Okay, scroll. When I click on this, then this is the link, and here you see all these icons and what they mean. So these are different options, and let me see if I can get you also the actual picture. Yeah, so this basically means it's in progress. If it's this and it's non-compliant, it's nearing non-compliance, the SLA has been paused, it's succeeded, and it's cancelled. So these are the different icons and what they mean. I hope this video was informative for you. I hope you learned something out of it. I really appreciate you guys telling me what kind of videos you would like to watch, or especially on what topic. If there's anything that you are stuck on, just put in the comment. I cannot promise it, but I will try to get back on it as soon as possible. In the meantime, happy learning.